EGR Fender Flares for your 2019 and up Silverado are designed and manufactured to OEM standards with the highest quality materials on the market. Installation is simple and doesn't require any drilling or modification to your truck. You can simply fit it and quit it. If you'll be painting your EGR Fender Flares, ensure the painting process is finished before installing the flares onto your truck. These basic hand tools are all you need to complete the installation. We recommend installing the front fender flares first, one at a time. Start your install by bolting each of the provided nuts and bolts together in the provided holes with your 3/16 Allen wrench and 1/2-inch combination wrench. Once the nuts and bolts are tightly installed, use the supplied alcohol wipes to clean the rear surface of the flare where the rubber gasket material will be adhered. After you have thoroughly cleaned the surface of dirt and debris, peel back 2 inches of the protective red adhesive covering and firmly press it against the fender flare starting at one end. Continue to peel the red adhesive cover and press the rubber seal against the flare, moving a few inches at a time. Install the rubber gasket material to all the surfaces that come into direct contact with the paint on your vehicle. After you've installed the rubber seal, use scissors to clip the excess. Now it's time to clean the areas of your vehicle the fender flares will come into contact with to prevent any scratching or damage to the painted surface, and make sure the surface is dry before moving on to the next step of the install. Turn the steering wheel of your vehicle so the front tire is facing outward, giving you better access to the inside of the fender well. For truck models with front factory mud guards, remove the screws using your T15 Torx head screwdriver at the upper and lower screw locations from the front factory mud guards, and use your 10mm socket on the underside of the mud guard. Make sure you keep all of the Torx-headed screws, as they'll be needed for reinstallation. Also, ensure you retain your factory mud guards for later use if required. Now you're ready to test fit the fender flare onto your vehicle. Place the fender flare onto your vehicle in the position of optimal fitment. Note the position of the fender flare at these 2 locations inside the flare's arc with a marker and set the flare aside. Stick the provided abrasive resistant tape over the 2 notched locations on the underside of the fender lip. Slide the provided clips over the 2 noted locations inside the fender panel and ensure the hook on the backside is fully engaged with the fender lip. Now you're ready to start bolting the fender flare into place. Place the flare in the optimal position and install the previously removed mudguard screws at the upper and lower screw locations through the slots in the fender flares at these locations. Secure the fender flare in the wheel arc at your previously noted locations by ensuring the notch in the clip locates securely into the slot in the fender flare. Install the speed nut over the inner bumper panel at the slot location in the front of the fender flare. Mark this location on the inner bumper panel with a grease pencil. Use a 1/4-inch drill bit to drill the bumper panel at the previously marked location. Install the speed nut over the drilled hole location flat side facing the wheel well. Install one of the factory screws removed from step 5 through the slot in the fender flare spacer and into the hole in the speed nut. Apply inward pressure on fastening point and tighten screw. Ensure the screw engages through both sides of the speed nut. Ensure all fixing points are tight and secure, and make sure the rubber seal is flush against the vehicle body. Repeat the preparation and install steps for the opposite side of the vehicle. Now you're ready to tackle the rear fender flares. Follow the previous steps used for the front fenders by installing the nuts and bolts into the fender flare and cleaning the area of the bedside where the fender flare will be resting against. Once the surface is clean and dry, remove these T15 Torx screws from the front factory spat in the wheel arc. Keep these screws for later reinstallation. Place the rear flare on the vehicle in the position of best fitment. Note where the slots in the fender flare align with previously removed factory screws in the front and rear spats. Reinstall the previously removed upper and lower screws from the rear factory spat through the slots in the flare. Reinstall the upper screw from the factory spat in the rear wheel arc through the slot in the fender flare. To secure the fender flare to the body, apply upward tension on the flare and push it onto the bedside when installing the black metal clips. Slide the clips over the flare and the inner wheel arc lip in these 3 locations. Ensure all fixing points are tight and secure and that the rubber seal is flush against the vehicle body. Repeat install steps for the opposite side. Now your vehicle looks better than ever thanks to EGR's high-quality, simple-to-install, no drilling required fender flares.